And welcome back, everyone, to Movies and Beyond. This is going to be our very first movie news segment. Something interesting pops up today. We're going to talk about the credibility of it first, but it might be the case that Andy Muschietti, the director of The Flash and the two It films, will in fact be doing Brave and the Bold in James Gunn's new DCEU. So, obviously, before I take this to Kyle, I just want to bring up the source first, just so we know where it's coming from. I don't know how reliable this source is, but we'll have a read. So it's coming from someone on Twitter called Big Screen Leaks. Loads of people are running with this, and it says, yeah, the rumours are true. I've been able to confirm with multiple sources that Andy Muschietti will be directing The Brave and the Bold for DC Studios. Muschietti is now the third director attached to the DCU. Obviously, James Gunn and James Mangold as well. Gunn obviously writing Superman and directing Superman, and James Mangold, I believe, is writing Swamp Thing. So that's where this news is coming from. Like I say, I don't know how reliable it is, but people are running with it. So this isn't, a video to say how true it is. I just think it's an interesting thing to talk about. So let's jump into it. Kyle,
Yo,
yo, how we doing today?
I'm okay. Just looking forward to seeing more information about this movie in particular. I hope we get some more news on it soon. Obviously, we've got quite a little bit of news on obviously Superman Legacy. We know how that's going to go. So
Yeah,
it's nice to see we're getting a bit of love for Batman Beyond. But I don't think we'll see anything more of it till after the Flash is released.
yeah,
Just because I think they kind of want to focus on that a little bit. Um, but yeah, no, I'm doing good. You?
not bad. Like I say, I thought this was a decent bit of news today. This really excites me because I do like Andy Muschietti as a director. Obviously, we haven't seen The Flash yet, but I have seen both the It films, and the tension in them is incredible.
Mm,
And the way that he was able to work with child actors in that first one and bring really good performances out of them really, sets a high standard for who we might cast as the Robin in this film, because we know Brave and the Bold will be a Batman and Robin film with Batman and his son Damian Wayne. Uh, the other thing is, if he's being looked at to direct Brave and the Bold, which will probably be Superman, and this will probably be their biggest films until they make a Justice League film. They're obviously very impressed with the Flash at the moment, and loads of people are. Loads of people are seeing it. They're not doing like a normal press sort of tour for it because of the Ezra Miller stuff. They're just showing it to loads of fans and letting the word of mouth get out of there. But yeah, they are doing a premiere. So yeah, have you seen any Andy Muschietti films?
so I've seen both It movies. I've only seen
Yeah,
them once. I saw them when they first came out, or roughly after they came out. I think I watched them on some streaming service. I can't remember what, like maybe Now TV or something. So I, I like the first one. I like the idea of the second one. Um, as a whole, I agree with you. Like he was able to get really good performances out of the cast in those films. It's just I don't know how I felt about the movies. Maybe it's just something that's not really my thing. But I could see people enjoying them. But for me, it's wasn't really my cup of tea. I mean, I watched them. As I said, I respect them as movies. They're just not for me. But
fair enough.
with with all the reactions that are coming out for the Flash, um, and it's nothing but positivity. Even like I trusting James Gunn, and he said it's a really fantastic movie as well. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he gave it a good high praise. So
Yeah,
um, I am excited to see the Flash, even though I didn't really. I'm gonna say I didn't really like the It movies, not because they were bad, they just weren't for me.
Yeah, no, I get
So,
that.
um,
You're not a fan
yeah,
of Dead Children.
not particularly. No,
Oh, right.
no. I mean, like for horror movies, personally, I like It Follows,
Oh,
brilliant movie,
incredible.
and there's so much tension in that. That was excellent, and see one Lights Out. I think I was scared to turn my light off for the past week
That was
after seeing that movie.
the Shazam director who did that, wasn't it? David F. Sandberg.
I'm not sure about that one, no. But if it
Yeah.
was, hats off to him. He made a terrifyingly scary movie.
So yeah. Well, I think this is a great choice because he has really he's already made a Batman film in the Flash. I know it's supposed to be a Flash film, but he's worked with
Yeah,
two.
you can say it's
Yeah.
Flashpoint.
Well, people
Batman
coming out of it.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, people coming out of it are saying that Michael Keaton's the star of the film, and obviously you've got to remember as well. Not only does he work with Michael Keaton's Batman, he works with Ben Affleck's Batman as well in this. So he's got to juggle two different types of Batman to see what you know. So I'm kind of interested to see what direction they're gonna go. The other question I've got for you is, who do you think his Batman's gonna be? Because we've got that picture of Michael Keaton up there, and the fact that he's worked with Michael Keaton as Batman. This I'm gonna say no, but do you think there's a possibility that Michael Keaton might be the Batman in the new DC universe?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
It would be cool. It'd be a cool idea to explore, but I don't see it really. I've never seen any of the Michael Keaton Batman movies, but from what I've heard, they're like not very. They're a little. They're dark. Like most Batman movies, they're dark. So I don't know how they'd sort of go around that because I, I really can't see Michael Keaton dealing with stubborn Michael Keaton Batman dealing with a stubborn Damien.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, they've. I'm interested to see what they do with this Batman because obviously they've done like the older style Batman with Ben Affleck, where he's the more wear and tear Batman.
Yeah, a
So I
still
think
active old Batman. I feel like this
yeah,
is going to be a Batman who comes out of retirement.
it could be. Yeah, I'm just thinking they can't leave it too late,
In
kind of
in the
thing.
Flash, in the
Because
Flash, I think he's going to be a Batman that
oh, in
comes
the
out of
Flash, yeah, yeah.
retirement.
In the in the movie that they're gonna do, I think for Batman wise, who's going to be the actor, I think it'll probably surprise us. Because we had Robert Pattinson and that was a big surprise. I had faith in it. I was hearing loads of people say, "Oh, it's vampire dude,"
Wait,
and I
you
was
look at Good Time.
like
And
watch Good Time and you
yeah,
won't say that. Like believe me, he'll completely just switch around. And then when people saw the movie, even if they didn't even see Good Time, they were like, "Yeah, this guy's he's the real deal," kind of thing. So yeah, I'm 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 thinking it will definitely most likely be someone new, someone who's able to stay and you know be a Batman in the new DCU for James Gunn's sort of plan because I can imagine they're going to want to do something like where they come together
yeah,
kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah, it'll kind of be a little similar to how the MCU does it, but if it ain't broke, copy it. um, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm up for that. Do you know what I mean? Like
well,
the way they've done the DC universe at the moment, it needs to take some notes from other uh, companies that have done it. Do you remember the Dark universe? Going off topic a little bit. Do you remember they were like hyping up the Dark universe with the first one being the Mummy?
oh yeah, the
And it
monster.
had
Yeah, yeah,
the
Dark.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like Yeah, that was strange though.
Yeah, they rushed into that.
Yeah, so with this, obviously, they're not going to rush into it. They're going to give lot of time to breathe for Batman, and they're going to want someone who's going to be their Batman in that universe.
Well, also remember this, that whatever Batman we cast also needs to be old enough to have a 13 to 14-year-old son.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be too old,
No, 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 not too old.
but a little bit aged, a little bit grizzled. Um, I think it'd be. I think the best spot would be how um, Christian Bale's Batman, the sort of the time frame he was at, especially in the Dark Knight Rises. I think because he was Batman for a couple of years, wasn't he? And then he
Well,
stopped for
he
another couple of years.
no, I don't even
I'm not
think.
saying.
I think in the
uh,
from Batman Begins to the Dark Knight, I'm pretty sure he'd only been Batman for like 6 months.
All right, okay, I might be
So
wrong
he
about
was
that.
a yeah, a very still.
But even still, like he was a very experienced Batman when it came to the Dark Knight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And if he stayed as Batman, he'd be like that for a bit of time, and he kind of was like that. And it's just he's an experienced Batman. He's not an old grizzled Batman. He's like the perfect middle spot when the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises happens. He's still kind of prime. He's just kind of given up a little bit because I didn't see an old man Batman in the Dark Knight Rises. I just saw him kind of out of shape.
yeah.
Not really been with it for a while. So, but it's Batman. Like, he can do anything.
I think you know my pick for Batman in the DC universe.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Go on,
What shut up about it?
go on.
Soldier Boy from the Boys. Yeah.
Yeah, good old Jensen Ackles. I really think he'd bring it in the role. He's
Uh,
he's voiced him a couple of times.
yeah. I I like the idea. I don't know how I feel because I've not seen him in anything else other than being Soldier Boy,
Yeah,
and he is fantastic as Soldier Boy. So, but I can see him being sort of a fatherly figure to someone who's, let's face it, like Damien's a little bit, crazy kid, violent kid. So
yeah,
I think in that dynamic, it's just could he be Batman kind of thing. But for me. I feel like he's in that sweet spot of like he's not young, he's not just new to being Batman. He's not been a couple on this job for a couple of months. He's like prime Batman,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
not.
we don't want Batman on job for a couple of months, do we?
No, no, we don't.
We want old time Batman.
Imagine that. But yeah, no, I'm I'm just glad with this film that they're leaving obviously Batterson. They're leaving that
Yeah, yeah,
universe
it's
separate,
great that they can do.
which I
Which
thought was great that James Gunn said that. So
I
yeah,
don't think audiences will get confused. I mean,
if I was to, I don't think they will get confused. No, not at all. I think people are in it enough now. They know a little bit, and people who don't know anything about these movies, they'll just kind of. I think they'll just still want to go see it because it's an action flick. At the end of the
yeah,
day, people will still want to go see it. But they will understand that they've made every movie they've done so far, Marvel or whatever superhero movie, how complicated it gets. Just look at Spider Verse, absolutely crazy, or
yeah.
you know
But yeah, I
whatever.
think
So
like this will really differentiate itself because this is going to be it's going to focus on Damien and Bruce, but it is going to be a Bat family film.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
we'd have had all these iterations of Robin.
I hope we get to see. I hope we do get to see more of the Bat family. I hope it's not like I kind of don't want it to be teased in a way, so it sets it up.
Yeah,
Like I mean, kind of shitting on Sony here, but when they tease something and it doesn't really work out, or something happens, or whatever, and they've really teased it like they did, with all the Spider-Man movies, well, the later ones at least, and the post-credit scenes they did for Morbius. So I hope we do get to see more of the Bat family. I just hope they do it right and they don't. rush into it, because at the end of the day, if James Gunn's wanting to build his own universe, DC universe, they've got to take the time with it, and I feel like that's what we're gonna get now.
Well,
Whereas if
yeah,
well,
absolutely, because they are going after, you know, top quality talent and top quality directors like Andy here.
yeah,
He has clearly proved himself as someone who is able to do Batman well. And they've probably, from the Batman parts in that, I've probably thought, let's get this guy to make a Batman film, because this man clearly gets Batman. So, I'm thrilled with that. And the scene, what's working, and they're not just throwing shit at the wall all at once, like when the old DC universe started up. It was like, we'll make a Man of Steel film, and then we're going to do Man of Steel 2. Oh, it turns out Man of Steel 2 is Batman v Superman. Oh, the same year we're going to have a Suicide Squad film come out. And then a year later we're going to have
it wasn't
Justice
planned.
League.
None of it was
No.
planned. It was really bad. Like I still stand that. You know, I'm not a DC guy. You couldn't ask me the more in-depth things, like if it was Marvel, ask me about it. I only know so little about the comics. I know how much people love like Batman in the comics and how dark he can get, and how complicated and very like how the stories go. So to know that, I've never been someone who's like I'm not trying to say I've not been like a massive DC fan. I've never seen the Flash TV show. I know you have. I've
I've
never
watched
watched
about
it.
4 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, you've watched it though. You've been a fan of it. Whereas and Green Arrow, and I've never watched any of that. I only watched like the big movies they've ever done, and they've not been very good. Maybe Man of Steel is, and James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is, obviously an exception.
I
But
do like
everything else
both
is
the
just.
Shazam films as well, though.
Oh yeah, Shazam. Yeah, Shazam.
Yeah.
I feel like Shazam feels a little disconnected from the DC
Yeah.
universe. To be honest, it just felt like its own thing.
And that's
that was fine.
And that's another thing that's just got thrown in there
Yeah.
out of nowhere, when they could have been, doing stuff like back in the day, like a Flash film.
Mhm.
Because, next week when we go see the Flash, so I always found this really weird. This when the second episode of the Flash premiered, Warner Brothers announced that Ezra Miller will be playing the Flash in the films.
Mhm.
This was in 2014.
Yeah.
The Flash TV show now finished last week or the week before. That show has run a 9-season run, which probably would have been... Yeah, no, it's run a 9-season run. Finished. Right? And this guy still hasn't had his film. It's crazy to me. He popped up in Justice League. Yeah, he had a little cameo in Batman v Superman, which is one of the worst ways to introduce all characters on the computer, just going through all files.
I mean, he was in the first Suicide Squad movie when he captures.
Yeah, yes, he was. Yeah,
and he's in Peacemaker, which you haven't seen. Peacemaker. Stop what you're doing right now. Go watch Peacemaker. It is.
Yeah.
It's heartfelt, funny. It is a great show.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Kyle's recommendation of the video to stop watching the video and go watch something else.
Seriously, just do it. Just do it. I know it's kind of bad, but seriously, like not enough people watched Peacemaker, and that
No,
show
they did.
deserved.
That was HBO Max's biggest show.
Was it? I heard.
Yeah.
I heard the opposite. Me. I heard
Oh no, that show was massive.
Okay. I've not learned like when I speak to a couple of friends and stuff, they've not really. They're like, oh yeah.
Another thing you need to think is HBO Max is an American thing. We don't have it.
No, I know, but there was wasn't there Now TV that had it here?
We didn't get to watch it when it first came out. We had to wait 3 months to watch it on Now TV. We definitely didn't do anything illegal to watch the episodes when they first came out, because that'd be morally wrong.
Yes, I agree.
I'm a big proprietor of pay for the stuff you like, but if you're not going to give me an option to pay for it, I'm going to steal it.
I mean, we did try to We did try to do it like really,
Yeah.
really well. Because when Mandalorian first came out,
Yeah.
we tried to do the VPN and we were willing to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? We paid extra for it, so we paid for the VPN and we paid for the Disney Plus service. Well, we
And then
tried to, but
it
then they
worked
said,
once.
yeah, it worked once, so we had
But
to,
yeah.
yeah. But what I'm gonna say is I'm not a DC guy, and I'm still very excited for the Flash of everything I've heard about
Yeah.
it. I'm very disappointed in Ezra Miller. I feel like Warner Brothers are trying to handle it the best they can. So is Marvel with Jonathan Majors. These companies they've not got a lot of options, and they've they, I can see the struggle. Do you know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I like that they're not doing anything associated with Ezra Miller thus far. They're not really promoting him. He's just the Flash in this film, and after this, he is no longer the Flash in anything.
Yeah. It's quite a hard story in it, but it's
Yeah,
you know it's a classic example of fuck around and find out. It
yeah.
wasn't just
Well,
one thing; it was
oh yeah, well,
thing
multiple
after
things. I
thing.
remember there was a time when there was a story about him every like 2 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is he done now?
But
Um,
then,
yeah,
to the credit of this film and this director, is from a lot of people watching it, they are forgetting about this stuff
yeah,
because Andy Muschietti has made such an amazing film, which in turn makes me really excited for Brave and the Bold.
hmm
Uh, so yeah, I
yeah.
I
No,
can't wait.
I'm excited. I'm not a Flash fan. I thought it was cool. It could run fast. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, it's way more.
speed.
It's way more than that, Kyle. It's way
I know,
more.
I know. But speeds has never been like my like. Oh, that's like really.
Mate,
I
look
like
at me. Do you
them.
think I like running?
Well, no, that's why I'm your friend. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Um, no, but I'm excited for the film. I'm excited to see what they do with it. The thing that when just as the whole DCU thing that really that I'm annoyed about is you know Henry Cavill and him getting pushed to the side. I mean, from that's like my number one sort of pet peeve
Yeah.
of it. My number two, I'd say, is Ben Affleck supposed to doing his own version of his own Batman movie, and how that was teased, and we never got that unfortunately. So that's the only thing that I'm
Yeah.
do you know what I'd love to see though? I mean, it'd be kind of copying Spider Verse a little bit, but if they're gonna do a multiversal movie with, say, Batman, with all the different Batmans that are everywhere, because there's loads of them, they could do it with Batman in an animated format. I think it'd work really beautifully. It'd be like a beautiful stylized Batman movie
Yeah.
dealing with the multiverse. You know what I mean? Just give us more Batman, and
Well,
but
we're
we're
gonna be
getting a
getting
live action.
so much Batman. Like the filming has been delayed for the Batman 2,
Mm.
so it's been moved to 2024, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. I think, or it's been moved off 2024. I don't think that film's going to make its release date now, which is November 2025. And Brave and the Bold was supposed to come out in
Does
2026.
does James Gunn have any say in these solo movies like the Batman and
No, he says
Joker?
he's going to leave.
Oh, so he's just
Yeah, he says he's going to leave Matt
completely
Reeves to
separate.
do his own
Okay.
thing, but this is where he's going to be most involved. And I think, I think he's already said James Gunn is. These stories are going to be very interconnected from early on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we are probably going to see some big league members in Superman Legacy because
Mm-hmm.
they want to get that connection right away, but not, crazy reliant on it. Like maybe like a little cameo, not market the whole film on a cameo like Black Adam did with Superman. So yeah, I think what we can take away from this is bright days for DC are ahead.
I'm excited. I'm not a DC guy. I'm a Marvel guy, but
Yeah,
I'll watch DC. I love DC as well.
despite what's
Um,
going on behind me, I'm very much equally in both camps.
I mean, I got Batman before you, and that's saying something. So
Yeah, I'm very much in both camps.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll say this, just as a one-off kind of thing. I'm so glad that movie tie-in games aren't a thing anymore. Just, I know that's completely random, but we used to get. I remember when Superman Returns came out and they released a game for that, and I was like, oh, this looks so cool, and it was fun to fly around for 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is pretty bad. Like,
what about the Iron
ugh.
Man game with badass?
It was for me for a week, and then my Xbox fell over and it scratched the disc, so I
Nice.
could never play that again, which sucked. But yeah, yeah, no, I'm excited for the Flash. I can't wait. With you know Andy doing his own Batman movie, not his own, but doing the Batman movie that's planned. Yeah, no, I'm down for that. If the Flash is as good as people are saying it is,
Yeah.
then I'm all for it. Yeah,
So
go
what?
for it.
So one last thing then with this: do we think Flash 2 is dead if Andy's going to be directing Brave and the Bold? Because he is a script that got written a long time ago, and James Gunn already said when he announced the slate, he said Flash is resetting the DC universe. So
What do you mean Flash 2, like a sequel to this,
yeah,
to the Flash
to the
movie?
Flash.
Oh no, that's no. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get a sequel to that movie. I think it's just one and done kind of thing. Um,
Yeah,
once this universe has been reset, it's all in James Gunn's
yeah, and
hands. I don't think there's going to be a sequel. If anything, they'll scrap what they have from. If they've written, did you say they've written
it
the
written
sequel?
ages ago before even
Well,
James Gunn were on board.
well, what I think they do personally is they'll just take what they've got good from that script, implement it into the new.
Yeah,
The only thing that kind of I'm not too sure about is because if I'm not wrong, the Flash movie is the first Flash movie, isn't it?
you would be correct.
So because it's taken so long to do this movie, I'm thinking, are we not going to see a new Flash? Whoever it is in the future. Is his movie going to be like a good while before we see it again? Because I don't feel like Flash is up there. Like he's a very well popular and respected character, but he's not Batman. He's not Superman. He's not Spider Man. You can't do a movie
No, but
with different versions.
he's part of the Justice League,
Yeah.
so that instantly bumps his status. Um, yeah, I think it'll be a while before we see a Flash film because we've got a pretty meaty slate off James Gunn, and that's
Yeah.
only the first half of the Gods and Monsters DC universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can imagine the second half would probably, include, maybe a Flash film with a new actor,
Mm.
or maybe a Cyborg film.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
Cyborg could do with some justice, to be honest. But yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
See what you did there. Do with some justice. You're
Um.
just throwing out all these unintentional puns. But yeah, no, I also believe that Flash 2, a direct sequel to this film, I believe that's dead in the water as well. With this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it will even in the future if it's a multiversal movie. I don't even think they'll really reference this Flash movie. To be honest, I think if they're going to reference anything from it, it'll be something that has nothing to do with the Flash.
Yeah, no, it's
Do you know what I mean? Like it'll they'll talk about the events that happened in the movie, but they won't mention the Flash like at all.
well, I don't think they're going to announce anything Flash. I feel
Yeah.
like they're going to play the cards safe, and people will see this film, and people will want Ezra Miller to be the Flash. So let's say we don't get another Flash film for another 5 years.
Mm.
If he's behaved and kept his head on
I
straight,
don't think so.
you don't think he'll
I
behave?
don't. No, it's because we've seen how he is. I don't know what's gone on with him, whether it's mental
Yeah.
health or he's just doing it. I don't know anything about what's happened with him, but just it's Warner Brothers are still the ones in charge here, and they're not going to want someone like that manning their massive universe.
Right. One thing I'll say
Someone
to you
is. Go on.
is winning cures everything. If this film comes out and manages to make like Aquaman's a billion. People forget Aquaman is $1 billion film.
Yeah.
If this film comes out and makes $1 billion, there will be serious conversations at Warner Bros. About.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd want basically like the way if they did that, it'd be like putting a gun in a baby's hand. It's just you can't predict what would happen.
Yeah, I know.
You know, even if they lock him down in a contract, Ezra Miller, and
like something as
he's set to
crazy
do-
as like he can't misbehave or anything, otherwise he don't get paid until after the film's out or something like that.
I mean, I don't think he even cares about money, to be honest, the way he's been going. So,
Yeah, no.
yeah, no, I'm excited, like I said, for the Flash movie. Please don't bring Ezra Miller back because it's just too loose. I don't want a rocky DCU. I want a nice, planned out, well done DCU with actors that are in it to win it, in it for to be these characters and to do it well, and in it for the long game.
If only everyone could be Tom Hiddleston and just care so much about the character that they play.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's the reality. People don't. It is a paycheck to most people. But yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, I think as well with the whole Jonathan Majors thing that's come out on Marvel's side. I think obviously Warner Brothers are going to react to that, and I think that will hinder them ever bringing Ezra Miller back. Like I said, I think after this Jonathan Majors things, that's whether it's true or false, it's too much press, and it's not good press. I know they say any press is good press, but this isn't good. This is bad. So I feel like it's a nail in the coffin for me that Ezra Miller is definitely not coming back, because Warner Brothers are looking at Marvel now, the leading studio, and they're having this trouble. So
absolutely,
and it's just this could fuck up the whole thing.
Well, that's it as well, and I think James Gunn is looking at what happened to him, and he's thinking, don't let your best directors go, no matter the cost.
Yeah.
He's looking at Andy Muschietti and he's going, I want this man around for a long time.
He's looking through his Twitter history.
Yeah. Which, I don't think they'll be all bad on that. He seems like he's pretty well put together.
I mean, he directed It movie.
Yeah.
Never know.
But yeah, right, I think that'll do it for today. Obviously, Andy Muschietti, if he is in fact directing Brave and the Bold, I think we both agree here that it's a fucking great idea. He's already dipped his toes into Batman a little bit with The Flash. He's done both them films, which I love. Kyle, not really for him, but, with all the positive word of mouth we're hearing about The Flash, I don't think there's a better option right now. That's the name that probably ensures the most confidence in a new Batman film, especially when you've got to go up against Matt Reeves' Batman films. That's really bring it. So, yeah, that'll do it for today. This video. Obviously, this is our first video. We're, just trying new things. We're going to see what works. Obviously, I seen this today, this news, and I thought it was really interesting. Me and Kyle have managed to ramble on for nearly over half an hour about it. So, let us know what you guys think. Leave us a comment, like the video, subscribe. And
it's. I just want to put it out there as well. The name of our channel is Movies and Beyond because we want to talk about movies. We want to talk about things behind it. But we'll talk about other things as well. Like we both gamers.
Yeah.
We love playing games and stuff. So I'm probably gonna look into doing the more game segments.
Yeah, Kyle's definitely going to be in charge of the gaming division because
when it comes, yeah, I'll have to look into it a bit more myself. But it's something that if you're in it with us for the long game, we won't just talk about movies. We talk about loads of different things. Like Callum will end up talking about shows and stuff when
definitely TV.
Invincible comes out. So it's in the name, Movies and Beyond. Subscribe.
It's all about beyond them movies and more. So yeah, subscribe. Let us know what you think. We're gonna try to do daily videos. Hopefully, it depends on a day. If there's no interesting to talk about, then I'm not gonna push a video out for no reason.
Yeah, like I said, when the new kids to the block, we will work out a schedule. We'll have something that's a bit more
concrete.
Concrete, because I get it. You like to skip to the bits sometimes. But yeah, no, we're just starting out, and yeah, just thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
watching.
Yeah. No, we got a subscriber last night when I was in bed, and I got the email on my phone.
Nice. It was me.
No, it wasn't. It was someone else. I went on the channel. Or was it you? No, it's not you. It's not you because we've got 4 subscribers now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
your other accounts.
No other accounts. Thank you, other subscriber. I checked out your channel. You did a guitar video a year ago, so that was pretty cool. I give it a watch. Shout out to the original gangster who's been there.
Alright, careful. You don't want to go into PewDiePie territory where you're
whoa.
shouting out. No, I mean you shout because you remember the controversy that came out with PewDiePie. He shared some of the videos or something, and it turns out one of them was like fascist or something.
Alright, well I don't think this guy is. But yeah, right.
No, I don't think.
Like I said, thanks for watching. And we'll see you tomorrow, if there's a lot to talk about. If not, you won't see me tomorrow, because I have no passion in what I do and I don't care. See you later.